kuwa mkono ambao unalima ardhi, mlango wa kulima, kuwa mshindi, kuwa na uhakika sasa, kulea mustakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la Kenya.
Immediately ng'ombe wamezaa, sisi hatuitikiangi ng'ombe wetu. Some people nasikianga wakisema ati lazima ng'ombe ilambe mtoto, but for us we don't. Kulingana na the knowledge we have, tunatoa ng'ombe, tunampeleka calf pen, immediately akikunywa ile colostrum for 8 days. Sasa ndiyo tunamreschedule ile maziwa yenye atakuwa akiconsume per day. Tunapatia 2 liters per each and every milking session. Anakunywa mara mbili, kwa hivyo that's around 6 to 7 liters kulingana sasa na weight ya ndama vile anatoshana. After 1 month tuna introduce pellets na dry matter. Tunaenda hivyo.
We start with the feeding records. Right from ndama akiwa mdogo kuna venye tuna feed. We do indicate the number of liters. Those 3 months atakuwa na kunywa maziwa. Tutakuwa tumeindicate ametumia kiasi gani, because if you are to budget, tufanyie budget, tutaweza kutrack using what the animals have been consuming. We have the records za health. Once veterinary anakuja, we want to know huyu ng'ombe ni hasara ama ni faida kwetu, the number of times veterinary amekuja na amekuja kufanya nini kwa hiyo ng'ombe. Then we have now the production records. Huyu ng'ombe anatutolea maziwa gani now for the productive animals. Tunakamua lita ngapi. Then tukikuja kwa feeding records, chakula hii maziwa ile food tumempatia inaturisproketia ikifika kwa production. Then ikifika kwa records, sometimes we do them manually, and now we have some gadgets we use for the online. It's a certain application yenye unaweza eka your details, then tukiswitch now ikifika wakati wa kuserve, when we are using the artificial insemination, nowadays we have now inaweza patiwa manually and all ikuwe registered online. Kuna technology imekuja for the artificial insemination, wanatusavia wana indicate online.
For milk letdown, ng'ombe lazima produce kitu inaitwa oxytocin. Na ng'ombe immediately amekuwa attached to the mother. Not the mother amekuwa attached to the baby, to the calf. Unapata ng'ombe haezi, ng'ombe yako na akili, anaanza kufichia mtoto wake maziwa. So wakati wa kukamua unapata juu sisi hatuitikii ndama wetu wanyonye, ni sisi tunakamulia, tunatumia the bottles, tuna feed nini our calves.
Beyond milk production, Samia Cattle Breeders has diversified into the business of selling heifers. With over 15 cows calving each year, the farm cannot keep all offspring. Instead, it supplies quality heifers, Frisians, Jerseys, Ganseys and the Flake V to farmers across Kenya and even beyond, including Uganda. By matching breeds to climates and customer needs, Samia Dairies has carved out a niche as both a milk producer and a trusted livestock supplier.
Kuna Flake V, kuna Jersey, kuna Gansey, kuna Ashers, kuna Chalolais. Sasa the essence of kukuwa na types of breeds ni okay, like for the Flake V, wanakuwa very adaptive as we do sell cows. Juu ng'ombe wetu ni wengi. Nimekuambia yearly lazima ng'ombe ya kuzali. Kama maternity yetu si umeona iko na over 15 cows na tuko na pre-maternity huko mwisho. Bado hao ni ng'ombe wengine wanazaliwa na kuna these heifers. Hao wote ni calf. Kwa hivyo before the end of this year tunaweza pata tuko na njao karibu 40-50. Hao njao wote space yenye tuko nayo haiwezi kuwa nini, so lazima we have to sell out some of our cows, and knowing that sio kila climate, each and every climate inahitaji ng'ombe specific. Like if you have let's say uko na client kutoka Mombasa, huwezi muuzia Frisian. Juu ukimuuzia hiyo ng'ombe haitamsaidia, haita survive kule juu pale kuna joto mingi. Lazima umtafutie ng'ombe kama Asha, Jersey ama Gansey. If it's for the Flake V, inakuwa very adaptive in any climate. So kwa mtu mwenye anajua Flake V, itampatia maziwa mingi na itakuwa very adaptive in any climate. So hamtakuwa na ile conflicts na customer wako ati ulimuzia ng'ombe ikaenda sijui kudegrade hiyo.
The first thing is welcoming you at the farm. Then the second thing I understand unataka ng'ombe wa aina gani. Because one, we have ikifika kwa breeds, kuna ng'ombe akona a lot of milk, that in form of the quantity iko juu, na kuna mwenye anataka yenye iko na quantity ya chini but quality ya juu ikifika kwa breeds, because there is someone who wants to have maziwa mingi. Sasa huyo nitamuonyesha ng'ombe zenye zitamsaidia in form of the quantity, but kuna mwenye anataka kufanya farming, I extract zile products from maziwa. That means anataka maziwa na butter content iko juu. So the first thing I will identify what specific you want. Utapata kuna ng'ombe anaweza kuwa na challenge to adapt a certain location, but hiyo tunakuwa tumeisort. The first thing need to identify breed as you are seeing them. We just have a farm tour. You just see what we have as I understand what you want. Itaenda kulingana with the age penye ng'ombe iko. And now we do allow lipa mdogo. You can come purchase a certain animal. Iteko tu kwa farm. Once you top up your amount, you'll take it. Yeah. Because kuna mtu mwenye hana that uwezo ya clear full amount. At the farm, we have a truck and we have a pickup. Zenye tunatumia transport. Zile tunatumia tu kuendea majani yetu, ndizo tutakusaidia ikifika kwa kutransport. Before utoke kwa farm with an animal, we give you a summary of huyu ng'ombe ako aje. Because you must understand huyu ng'ombe tumekuwa tukimfeed aje and why. Once we take your animal to your place, tuko na follow up. As we say here, hygiene is a must. Maybe shed yako venye umeijenga, it can be in the simplest form, but huwezi kuobserve hygiene. So we do advise you venye utafanya at your farm.
Farm yako imegrow, kuna mahali inafika yenyewe ndio inakufungulia, inakupatia opportunity to be a cow trader. Like unakuwa unaweza uza ng'ombe wako, juu ng'ombe niwe. Of course kama ng'ombe wenye tunazaliwa inania na capacity ya our farm, tusipouza, of course wataenda beyond the capacity of what we want. Let's assume unapeleka ng'ombe wako kama Isiolo. The place over there iko a bit hot, na kama necessarily kuna mtu atakuja akwambie, myself I don't want to sell the quality, I want to sell the quantity. So I need a host inflation. Ile host inflation itakuwa na maziwa mingi, but quality wise iko a bit thick. Huwezi ilinganisha kama na ya Asha ama the Jersey. So ukiuzia yule mtu ng'ombe, huwezi mpatia ng'ombe yenye iko in calf 8 months. Lazima umpatie ng'ombe mwenye kwanza atakaa kwake kama ako 5 months, adapt, ndio by the time ana adapt asimzalie alafu mwanze kukua na issue that ng'ombe alizaa alafu hakuwa na production.
Farming here is not only about work. The farm environment is made lively with music played through speakers, keeping both workers and animals engaged. For John, this is more than a business. It is a lifestyle, a passion, and a contribution to the nation's food security.
Tunakamua thrice per day, 3 times per day, depending ng'ombe alizaa lini. Juu kuna ng'ombe wengine muna have kukamua mara mbili. Because of the production ama ng'ombe akue mimba yake ni kubwa sana, so mnahitaji kuipeleka pande ya steaming, so lazima reduce ile maziwa ndio ingie kwa steaming period. So immediately watu wangu wakiamka tunaanza kwa kulisha. Sisi tunaachanga kama tumekatakata majani inakuwa ready. Asubuhi tukiamka ni kulisha. Immediately after kulisha ng'ombe wanapatia tunawapatia like 1 hour. We do that by 6 in the morning. After wamemaliza kupeleka maziwa wanakuja tunalisha, tunapatia ng'ombe like 1 hour. Wakimaliza kukula, cleaning. Kutoka hapo sasa vijana wangu wanakaa wanatulia juu si wao wanaenaa majani. Tunangoja sasa ile masaa ya mchana ya kukamua, kuclean tena, bado kuclean. Tunapata juu ng'ombe ni wengi and the space is not very big, unapata clean around 4 times in a day. From mali structure zangu ziko, it's quarter of an acre. Juu the whole area nilikuwa nimeinunua ikiwa half an acre, na iko na capacity of 134 cows.
The story of Samia reflects the bigger picture of Kenya's dairy industry: small beginnings, persistent challenges, and remarkable transformation through innovation. From 2 cows to a modern herd of more than 70, John Borrow's journey is proof that determination, knowledge, and the right structures, dairy farming can change lives.
Currently, hatujaanza. Okay, maybe in future we'll do that. Tutaanza kutrack what value to our milk. Lakini for the time being, sisi we sell to the cooperative juu it's not a bad deal dealing with them.
Okay. And we are talking about maybe how many shillings per liter, an average of how many?
Wananunua at 49 shillings, lakini sisi tunapatiwa bonus, so making it a total of around 51 shillings. Yeah. Ng'ombe anakuanga higher producer from day 1 to day 120. For the first 4 months, in that lactation ndio anakuwa na maziwa mingi. So unapata kuna ng'ombe wenye already tumeserve haezi produce ile maziwa. So uwezi let hawa ng'ombe wote ati kila ng'ombe anakupatia 1500. Kuna mwenye hata atakupatia more than that, lakini kuna mwenye atakupatia below that. When you are starting this journey, I told you something. Mimi the background yenye nimelewa nayo, it was a humble background. Mahali kupata milioni ilikuwa 30. So najua naweza introduce machines za kukamua, of which it will make work easier, lakini all my workers, hawa vijana wangu, I call them, ni actually ukisikia tukiongea na wao you will think utafikiria wote they are my brothers, au ni kama watoto wangu. Kuna the first born, kuna the last born. So mimi kuanza sasa kumwambia atitoka kufukuza the young nation in the business, that's not me.
Dairy farming according to me ni kitu nimegrow nikiona from home. Ni ile I've been raised where there are a maximum of 2 cows. Na ndo part of my school fees inatoka from the dairy animals, so nikaipenda. Ile siku nayo nikigrow ni the knowledge, mbona tunafanya hivi. Once I went to high school, I did agriculture. It was a privilege to my high school, my previous high school ama kwenye nilikuwa nasoma, we had a farm. Na ilikuwa ya ng'ombe na nguruwe. As much as we were doing the training ama mafunzo kwa class, tulikuwa tunakuja kwa farm, we see it. Then once I completed high school, I came to this farm, nikaelewa more in a better perspective. Yeah.
And now you have your own farm.
I have my small farm which is inakuja pole pole. Just dairy cows and some 2-3 chickens. Yeah. Farming is possible. Ile challenge inaweza kuwa tu ni kuanza. Because once umeanza, unajua kila mtu ni procrastination. I will start. The day you will start, you know, understand it in a better way. But according to me, since I have 2 years since I finished high school, na ndio kitu nimekuwa nikifanya, na ndio imekuwa my main job. Naweza ambia mtu mwenye ako hapo nje, it is something which is doable. Yeah.
So for a farmer, really, I do not really focus. I would not advise a farmer to focus on maybe a particular breed, but they should be able to narrow down to production per day, because that is where the business is. Because for a farmer keeping any of the above mentioned breeds and they are giving them 3 liters of milk, be it a Frisian for example, you are not in business. Why? 3 liters of milk, if you multiply, that cow cannot feed itself. That cow cannot even be able to acquire the veterinary services. There are people in the farm who need to be paid, maybe the farm hand and the suppliers and people like that. But for you to say you are in dairy business, your cow should at least be able to give you 20 liters every day. And since a cow is in production for around 305 days every year, by the cow coming on heat once per year and giving you a calf per year, then the period of time your cow is supposed to be in milk is around 305 days or thereabout. And therefore, you as a farmer should be able to make sure that you are earning at least from that cow 20-25 liters on the minimum. There is also the issue of numbers, because you may be having just a single cow, which then may be even producing 60 liters of milk, but you are not in business as well. Why? Because there are so many bills to be paid. But with numbers, say you have maybe 10 to 20 to 30 cows, but starting from 10, for example, then you are able to have a very good business case. Why? Because while some cows are in the dry period, some are giving birth, and others are coming on heat and are being served. Therefore, your consistency of production is across board. The whole year you are in production. The breeds, therefore, you focus on the production per day, whatever the breed is, but some have advantages over the others. For example, the Jersey, the butterfat content is higher than the rest of them, about 3.5% going up. And the Jersey also feed on small amount of feed, given that they are small body sized. Therefore, you stand a better chance of if they are getting you to the 20 and the milk is quality, then you stand a better chance. As compared to, say, Frisian, which is eating too much and then maybe giving you the same amount. So when you do your cost-benefit analysis, you find that it would be more profitable for you to raise jerseys than to raise Frisians. But now each has advantages over the other, and therefore you need to seek that information as a farmer to find what are the advantages of one, the advantages of the other, and therefore you can make informed decisions. In the SWOT analysis, the strength, weaknesses, opportunity and threats analysis for the dairy business, some of the strengths are that the industry is growing, and therefore whatever the amount of milk you produce, the demand is so high that it is insatiable. People are coming on board, your neighbors, you people on your phone, people in towns, hotels, institutions, hospitals, schools. The demand for milk is ever there. Some of the weaknesses now of the dairy business is that if you're not careful and your animals fall sick or the housing is not good, disease challenge is one of the most common challenge in dairy farming, especially mastitis. And this is due to poor housing. But if you are able to make the house right, use a nice mattress, have good drainage for your cows, and then after feeding, after milking, you make sure you feed them. Because the science behind it is that once you milk your cow and feed it, the paw where the milk was coming from, as you milk, the muscles are able to cross by the time the cow is finishing to feed. And therefore, once it's lying down, that paw has already crossed, and therefore the bacteria from the ground cannot be able to contaminate or gain access into the udder. And therefore, by doing that, you are able to control these diseases. Others include having good biosecurity systems, where people can have footbaths as they are coming to your farm and out, change of clothes as they are coming out, and basically not allowing just anybody to come to your farm, see your animals without knowing where they are coming from. Because they could be coming out from a place where there is a disease incidence, for example, foot and mouth disease. And when such a disease comes to your farm, then you rest assured that your farm, then you are into disease. And disease is very expensive. Why? There is loss of production, because that cow will be producing less than the amount. And it takes just a single day for a cow to have a decline in production. But to get back to former production, it may take even 3 weeks plus. So you see, and then the care, the veterinary input, all that, someone take care of the animal. A disease is very expensive to a farm. Other opportunities now that are available in this dairy space, there are opportunities for value addition. And what is value addition? You could be making your yogurt. Of course, you need a certification from Kenya Dairy Board just to make sure that you are doing things the right way. Also, you will need some licenses from the county just to make sure you are not doing illegal business, so that you can even take your products to the market. They have a KEBS certification, and then once you start doing that, then you are in good business. Alternatively, you can even start a small hotel, because if a liter of milk is retailing at, say, 50 liters, and you can use the same liter of milk to make 10 cups of tea, each at 50 bob, you see, that's value addition. Just do mandazis and some other maybe cakes and things like that, and you make money even from your farm as well. Alternatively, you can also link up with the institutions that are around you, hospitals, schools, colleges, yeah, and then you have a ready market for your business. Last but not least, agrotourism. Just if you have a well set up farm, people can just be coming to see your animals, how you are raising them, and you teach them a few things of how you do your business. And I know of a farm where you pay 5,000 per day just for you to visit, yeah, and you are just going to see the animal. There is nothing you are buying. So if you have, say, 10 visitors on a nice weekend, that's 50K. It will help you pay the farmer, do a few things, buy a few feeds, pay the vet, by just having a nice set up farm where people can just come and run. But of course, you must make sure that where people are coming in and going out, you have very tight biosecurity systems to make sure that there are no diseases coming into your farm, because if that happens, then you are spoiling everything that you have been doing so far. Now, for the threats of the industry, there are instances where you hear maybe products are coming from outside the country, and then the farmers are complaining. But there is not so much you can do about that, because that's politics in another level. Now, for the farmer at your level, you have to keep the vision of why you started the dairy business. And if you are having even employees, you make sure you train them on the right way to do things, because if anything go wrong, you come changing employees every now and then. Diseases are coming in again, you see. So some of those things then will make sure that we lead to your farm collapsing, yeah. And of course other things like even an epidemic, for example, say abortions in your farm and things like that. Those are threats, and therefore that is why you need to engage a vet to take you through the ABCs of health to make sure that your farm, there is no disease coming in, the feeding and all that are taken care of, and your business is running well. And if there is anything that is going out of the norm, then with the expert, then you can re-engage and ask yourself, where did we go wrong? This is how we performed last month, this is where we are going. Then you are able to move together with an expert to guide you on how to move forward with your business. And until then, you can earn some nice profits.
As Kenya continues to modernize its agriculture, farms like this one offer a glimpse into the future where livestock are healthy, structures are efficient, and farmers are empowered to feed a growing population. In the end, dairy farming is not just about milk, it is about livelihoods, resilience, and hope.
Kuwa na uhakika sasa, kukulea mustakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu.